What's up, Sword? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're breaking down episode 7 of Skeleton Crew. Now to me, the show just keeps getting better and better, and I got some theories for you in this one today. Don't forget to smash that like, subscribe if you're new, and don't forget to turn on those notifications for any time I upload new content. Alright guys, we're breaking this one down. Episode 7 is called We're Gonna Be in So Much Trouble. So the story takes a dramatic turn as the children's parents desperately try to send a message through the barrier around the planet of Ad-Adin. While safety droids stop most of them, Farah manages to send the message out into space before being stunned. Meanwhile, the kids aboard the Onyx Cinder are starting to act like kids again. They're playing a game and joking around. Of course, except for Wim. Wim feels bad for getting everyone into this mess to begin with. The other kids assure him that it was worth the adventure, but things take a darker turn by the episode's end. Jad Nana Wood, the pirate we have all come to love. I think this is one of the best parts of the show, is how they have truly turned him into a villain at this point, but we still root for him. And I think that is a great job by the writers and directors. So Jad the pirate, who has been helping and threatening the children, continues to show his true colors in this episode. At first, he's just trying to survive on his old pirate ship, arguing with Brutus, the current captain. Now, I'm going to go on record saying Brutus is one of my least favorite characters of this entire series. So what happens to Brutus, I do not feel bad for him at all. As they continue on their journey, Jad believes the storm surrounding the planet is an illusion and volunteers to prove it by flying into it, but Brutus sends someone else instead. When the volunteer does not come back, Brutus then decides to finally execute Jad. I mean, this is Brutus's biggest flaw as a character. The dude always is deciding to keep him alive, and we'll see what happens. So as soon as he's about to get executed, Jad's luck turns to the better as the Onyx Cinder shows up. Jad then convinces Brutus to use the Onyx Cinder to get through the storm, but things don't go as planned. The children use a claw arm to capture Brutus, thinking they can outsmart Jad and the pirates. However, after using the Force to release himself from the handcuffs, Jad then kills Brutus in cold blood, takes the kids hostage, and then claims the Onyx Cinder for himself. Now, unfortunately, we do end up losing SM-33. SM-33 decided the ship belonged to the children under a pirate law, but Jad sneaks back aboard and then ends up beheading SM-33 after igniting the lightsaber he found a few episodes ago. The episode ends with Jad, the children, and their ship arriving on Ad-Adin. Safety droids mistake Jad for a Republic emissary and escort him and the children to a massive underground vault filled with Republic credits. The droids recognize the kids as the ones their parents reported missing, but Jad tells them to hold the kids while he explores the vaults. We find out that there are 1,139 vaults down in the grounds of Ad-Adin, and that number is key, and we're going to get to that in just a moment. After looking at one vault, Jad is ecstatic with finding all of these credits, and then we have a major cliffhanger at the end after we see the kids reunite with their parents in a wonderful scene. Jad reappears, he ignites his saber, and he leaves everyone unsure of what is going to happen next. Now, there is a ton that happens in this episode, and I kind of went through just the basis of it. There is a scene where Jod is almost about to go Anakin-like on the kids as he ignites the lightsaber and starts yelling at them to be quiet so he can think and figure out what to do next. It was an amazing, amazing scene, and I'll tell you what, I think it was my favorite scene of the entire series. So for the second part of this video, I am going to be talking all about some theories that I have about the masking system of Anakin, about the supervisor, and about Jod himself. First off, let's talk about the masking system. Now, the barriers and illusions around Anakin might have been created by the Ancient Republic or even the Jedi during the High Republic era to hide valuable resources from people who might misuse them. Another idea I have is it could be the Mandalorians built the system to protect their treasure. If the Republic learns about this technology, it could play a big role in the fight against Thrawn or even the First Order's rise later in the timeline. Now, I want to talk about 1139. Yes, you're going to hear every single YouTuber talk about how 1139 is over 1138 by 1, and this relates back to George Lucas's first film. Fantastic. I am here to tell you that is absolutely not what 1139 means. Alright, you sequel trilogy haters are going to absolutely hate this theory. Listen, I am not a fan of the sequels, but I'm also going to be somewhat reasonable in this, knowing that Disney is probably never going to retcon the sequels, unfortunately. So I am looking for anything that can make some type of connection. So in the movie The Last Jedi, my least favorite Star Wars movie, we see that the First Order is basically chasing the New Republic through space for the entire movie. Now, the ship the First Order is chasing through most of the movie is called the Raddus. Now, this ship is formerly known as the Dawn of Tranquility. Now, this vessel maintained a skeleton crew of 1,139 passengers. So I believe that this is the way that they are trying to link this to the sequel trilogy. I find it funny that the description of the Raddus talks about the skeleton crew of only being 1,139. It will be very interesting to see if this ends up meaning anything at all, or it could just be a simple Easter egg. But knowing Star Wars, it will probably end up meaning something down the road. Alright, so let's go to my next theory, and we're talking here all about Jod Nawud. Alright, so I have had tons of theories on this character already, and I honestly did not think it would go the way it has gone, which is a good thing. If you can't typically guess of where a character's arc is going to go, I think that is a really good thing. Unlike other series, I feel like I can always guess where the character arc is going. I did not see this one coming. I think that Jod is going to end up being a good guy. So one of the theories I have is that he has a very rough personality and his actions come from a traumatic past. Again, I do think it's going to link back to Order 66. I think that the reason why he is so aggressive toward these children is because of jealousy. I think he sees them being able to have a childhood and growing up where he was never able to actually have that. He had to hide. He had to become a pirate, although he did have Jedi abilities. And I do believe this is how this is all going to come undone in the final episode. Now, I went on record in my last video saying that this was supposed to be the episode that we learn more about Jod. Although we didn't technically learn more, I think the scene where he holds the saber up to the kids in the ship, I think that right there kind of shows that he is definitely jealous of what these children have. So I think in the next episode, we are going to get his backstory, and I think I am correct on this one. All right, guys, finally, the theory about the supervisor. So I do think the supervisor is Captain Renaud. Now, this mysterious figure is definitely tied to Aden's history because he landed on there. We know he crash landed. And I think after he crash landed, he ended up becoming a cyborg to live forever because of the injuries he had. Now, I do also believe that KB is his daughter. Now, was she born before the landing on Aden? That I am not sure of. I don't know the Star Wars lore as far as a cyborg actually being able to age and grow and that kind of stuff. But I think there's definitely some type of relation between him and KB, and what the decision had to be made was, does he want to live longer than she does? And somehow, some way, she ended up having the operation done to kind of become the same type of cyborg as he is. That way, they can live together for much, much longer. So I think that is really what the big twist of the season will end up being. Captain Renaud is going to be linked to either Grand Admiral Thrawn or Emperor Palpatine. There has to be some reason why that they are minting all of these Old Republic credits. And finally, I'll give you an example of a line from the show. When they are headed down to the vaults, Jod tells the droid it will be nice to finally talk to somebody who is not a droid. And I do believe that we're going to find out that the supervisor is a droid or a cyborg, and it will end up being Jod's worst nightmare. And I think that the show overall is going to be kind of a way to show kids that electronics don't have to take over your life. Go out there and play. And I think that's going to be the main message of the show, is that you don't have to be so dependent on your technology. All right, guys. Well, let me know what you think of these theories down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching the video. Don't forget to keep those heads on. And I will see you guys in the next